Welcome to NRL 360, rugby league from every angle, brought to you by Regain. Joining me again, the great Gordon Tallis, Paul Crawley and Dean Ritchie. What a teaser that was to get us started for this year's semi-finals, which I believe are the most open in recent times. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. But how good's that teaser by Nate?
That was great.
Mate, he was refereeing too right at the end. How good.
It really is, Braith. Honestly, you look at all the teams in the top 8 and on their day, anyone can beat anyone. And I think that's the genuine theme of this season, and it comes down to the best 8 teams, and good luck.
Matty Noble knows how to get the juices flowing, doesn't he?
He does.
He's a genius, that man. I'm looking forward to the Raiders Broncos, though. Full house at GIO Stadium. Raiders haven't been in this position for many years. It's going to be an absolute belter.
You're fired up, aren't you, Bull?
I'm ready.
You're glowing.
I'm
I
ready.
see it.
I'm really interested about the new sponsor, Regain.
Regain,
What
yeah.
are they hair growth?
They are.
So what about Gordon? Did you help get him on board or not?
Oh, well.
No, actually,
okay,
do you know
just
what?
asking.
Do you know what? Mate, it's for people like you and Buzz that are trying to hold on.
Mate, it's a thick crop.
All right, that's enough. Some big ins and outs for week 1 as we look at the Sportsbet team selections. And here they are. They're coming. Here it is. Grant returns. Wishart at fullback for the Storm. Carraz and Sexton on the extended bench for the Bulldogs. Kenny sidelined for the Panthers, but To'o and Martin return. For the Sharks, Trindle returns from ankle injury. For the Raiders, Papali'i at prop despite injury concerns. And for the Broncos, naughty boy Shibasaki back after the club ban last week. But the mind games are in full swing, I hear, between the Raiders and the Broncos, Madge and Ricky.
Well, the Broncos think there are mind games. They think they heard when Papali'i had hurt his ankle at training yesterday, they thought, oh yeah, this is just another tricky Ricky sort of play. And there was a bit of drama earlier in the season. I think it was round 2, and the Broncos had gone down there, and their team bus wasn't allowed to get behind the gates down at Canberra Stadium. They had to park it across the road, and they thought...
Usually as an ex-player, I don't know if you were the same, Gordy, the opposing team bus was parked in the stadium.
Yes, it was. And in previous years, the Canberra players would drive their cars there and walk into the stadium. But Ricky changed things around this year in that the team came to the ground in the bus. And Madge thought, oh, what's going on here? He's doing a job on us, making all the players walk past all the
But
provoke.
you wouldn't know unless he coached there, right? Because, you know, some games, I remember like at Leichhardt, and then there were so many people down the street, they'd drop you 100 metres up. We'd get hammered all the way in, the Broncos.
But, you know, I think from the Raiders' perspective, they just have a a giggle at it. Like, I think this game this weekend, it's NRL in charge. They'd lock the gate if they could and keep it out.
But Madge did get his back up about it, though.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yep, they did. Well, as I understand it, they rang the integrity unit, or they rang someone at the NRL, and the integrity unit went and looked at... Yeah, seriously.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes, that's what happened.
Let's cut through the BS. Large doses of paranoia from both coaches here. And I love Sticky and I love Madge.
Well, you love everyone.
But you know what, Braith? You know what? I don't think the Raiders could be bothered playing mind games about a team bus. Surely they've got bigger things to worry about. No. And I think some coaches in the fair dinkum stakes, though, they need to feel like they're being belittled or disrespected or disparaged. That's what drives them. That's what they tell their team about, that no one rates us. And that's what
Madge
is probably doing right now.
Last year,
both of these coaches are renowned for it. Both of them for using things like this as motivation to pump their teams up. Now, it has been said in the past that these two are mates, but I'm hearing they're not quite as good as mates as what everyone thinks. Is that right or not?
I don't think they ever were great mates. Like, it's not like Ricky and Craig Bellamy or Ricky and Kevy Walters, you know, where they're genuine friends, and they have been. Like, what happened was... Maguire played at Canberra, you know, and they knew one another. And then when the Raiders were looking for a defence coach 2 years ago, I think it was, or 3 years ago, he took the job down there and they worked together. I think there was a little bit of animosity when Madge left. I certainly know that the Raiders didn't think Madge was completely upfront when he was going for the New South Wales job, right? And then he was also trying to hold on to the Kiwi job and he wanted to stay at the Raiders and then basically ended up losing the Kiwi job too. and the Raiders made their decision to let him go too. And I think at that stage, you know, everything wasn't hunky-dory. But as you know, that's rugby league.
Look,
I don't think they're the, you know, I don't think there's any major dramas.
No, but they're just,
I think you're right, Cos. I don't think it was a full-on blue, but you're quite right. When Madge went to the Blues, they were asking him questions, and the Raiders don't feel that Madge was being totally upfront with them. And you know what Ricky's like? Ricky's, if you're a mate, you're a mate. You're upfront,
Just
you're
tell the
fair dinkum,
truth.
and tell the truth. And I think that's where there was a fallout. I think at that time, a few Raiders officials said, come on, boys, get into a room and sort it out. And they have. They're okay now, but there was a little bit of unease among the pair of them.
the gloves will be off on Sunday.
Mate,
The
you've been
gloves
coached
are
by
off.
Ricky.
Yeah.
You'd know if he didn't like you, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. He'd tell you straight. There's no doubt
Do you know
about
what
it.
Rick's like, don't you, Braith?
Oh, yeah,
if you're a
he's
mate, you're a mate. You know,
And he doesn't hold grudges, Ricky.
No BS. no, he doesn't. Yeah.
No, you know what? You got two of the most passionate coaches
Love it.
that have ever coached in our game, going
Adds
toe to toe,
adds
and
to it.
similar styles.
And it will rub off. It will rub off on the players.
Of
you know,
course.
When you think about this game, the thing that excites me as much as watching the way that these sides going about attack, it's the two forward packs going after each other.
Well, just before we get to any of that, Josh Papali'i, how serious is the injury, though? Have we heard any clear information out of Canberra? Is he in serious doubt?
Yeah, he is. Well, he definitely went down at training yesterday. He definitely left the field in a moon boot. He's been in it since. I think he took it off this morning and did some rehabilitation sort of work and then put it back on. He's in huge doubt for the game.
Okay.
But the Raiders are still hoping he'll play.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you tell me, like an ankle injury, big man like that, your mobility, how does it affect you?
Yeah. Well, it does, and it's because
Is it fair dinkum?
Hey?
Is he in a moon boot? I'm just joking, Braith. I'm just joking.
he was in
it's
a moon
all
boot,
part of the
wasn't
mind
he? Hang on,
games. Let's
fake-
whack a moon boot on him.
Another
No, but he
a
wasn't
fake
a moon
moon.
boot.
No, I'm geeing you up, Braith, and you know I am. I'm just saying that. That's on backwards.
Like your head.
Well, he's a Queenslander.
Unpleasant.
He's a Queenslander. Maybe a little tricks
Mate,
before
come
Origin.
No, look,
I don't think it is. I think
you
it's
think with
genuine.
his experience,
I'm
right?
geeing up. But you know what? They will miss him if he doesn't play. It's a young side playing in probably the biggest game of most of their careers, and they're going to need Big Papa out there to lead the way.
Yeah.